show. This is Casey, This Is Our Story, live right here. I'm Keanne Armstrong, and I'm joined with
Jana Johnson. I'm the membership manager here at WEIU, and blessed to be a part of this great program on Casey.
We have so many wonderful stories to share with you tonight. We actually have 24 stories. We have 25 storytellers.
We have had a blast with the storytellers from Casey, and they're so nice. I mean, I'm telling you, they're really nice. And that's your hometown, correct?
It is. It is my hometown, so this is a very special night tonight. I'm going to try not to get too emotional, but we hope that you are tuning in tonight. You can watch us on satellite, you can watch us over the air, you can watch us on cable, and you can also watch us on WEIU.net because we're streaming live tonight.
That's right. And you know, if you're watching right now and you say, I better call my friends and family, get on the phone and you call them. You will not want to miss this program on Casey. You'll learn a lot. Even if you've lived in Casey your entire life, you're going to learn something new tonight.
That's right. So don't go anywhere. This is Casey. This is our story right here on WEIU.
I saw that name.
Casey, This Is Our Story is brought to you in part by Casey, This Is Our Story is supported by Casey State Bank, your community, your bank. Casey State Bank salutes all of the storytellers who are making this show possible. Casey State Bank is proud to be a part of Casey and the surrounding areas. Casey State Bank, your community, your bank. Member FDIC. Bolin Enterprises Incorporated. Bolin Enterprises, 250 employees. Salute the city of Casey, the storytellers and city leaders on this program. Bolin Enterprises supports all things Casey and hopes everyone enjoys Casey. This is our story. Since 1976, Richards Farm has been a part of Casey, and Richards Farm is proud to support Casey. This is our story. Congratulations to all of the storytellers for your devotion to Casey. From Richards Farm Restaurant. First Neighbor Bank, providing service to East Central Illinois for over 125 years. Hopes you enjoy Casey. This is our story. First Neighbor Bank in Casey is an equal housing lender. Member FDIC. Enjoy Casey. This is our story from Casey Industries Incorporated. Casey Industries works to assist existing and new businesses with expansion and development opportunities and to support Casey. This is our story on WEIU. Casey Lions Club supports business, tourism, and economic development in Casey. The Casey Lions Club is excited to support Casey. This is our story. The Casey Lions Club, proud of the community for coming together for this TV program on WEIU. Casey, Illinois, big things in a small town, is proud to support Casey. This is our story on WEIU. The city of Casey thanks everyone involved with this production, especially the storytellers, and hopes you enjoy Casey. This is our story.
If it weren't for the National Road, Casey may not have actually existed. When the National Road was beginning in construction in 1830, started from the eastern part of Casey, there were several workers who came here to find some places to live, and usually they needed water and higher ground. So they found this settlement about a mile west of what the present-day crossroads in Casey are right now, and they called it Cumberland. First land entry was made in 1830 when Ewing Chancellor from Kentucky came and bought a piece of property on the northeast quarter of Section 20 in Casey. However, he didn't live here right away. He didn't come for about 5 years, nor did he make any improvements. But in 1833, John Doty came. He was a Kentuckian from Indiana, and he was the first preacher that came to the western part of our county, Clark County. Doty and Chancellor were the only permanent settlers here until about 1835, when Chancellor's two brothers, John and Joshua, came from Kentucky. Then in 1836, Levi Mumford, a skilled, very skilled marksman from Ohio, came. Levi was the first generation of 6 successive generations of the Mumfords, which means 7 in all that have lived or are still presently living in Casey Township. Cumberland was platted in 1836 by Ewing Chancellor, his 2 brothers John and Joshua, and John Doty. John Chancellor built a combination store house that was operated about 10 years. It was located on the eastern part of Cumberland, on the north side of the road, and then directly across from the road, south of his house, was a stagecoach stop, and that building stood until the mid-1950s. Cumberland was a prominent trade post for miles around for the little hamlets that would come and go. The post office was developed on the west side of Cumberland, which is now about a half a mile east of what the crossroads are in downtown Casey at the present time. Ewing Chancellor was appointed the postmaster, and the post office was named after the Honorable Zadok Casey. After early settlers of Cumberland had established their residence along the National Road, a north-south road, which is now Route 49 or Central Street in Casey, was developed about a mile west of Cumberland. As people migrated toward the crossroads, the population shifted to the west and a new village began. They called this Casey, and then eventually Casey absorbed Cumberland. As early as 1837, a lot of religious meetings were begun, and they were held by the Baptists in homes and schools. Finally, John Doty, who was the Baptist preacher, helped assist organize the first religious group in Cumberland, which was called the Cumberland Baptists, and he preached there for 40 years. After a few years, they decided that they needed to build a building, and they did this in 1850 and named it the Cumberland Baptist Church. It was located adjacent to the very small cemetery, which was located on the northwest side of Quarry Creek, about a quarter of a mile from the National Road. There's at least 2 other remaining remnants, and one is the footbridge they had across Quarry Creek so the pioneers could go from one side to the other, and the other is a barn which sits directly south of the footbridge on the east side of Quarry Creek, and it is made of 8-inch hand-hewn oak beams tied together with wooden pegs. Now the Cumberland Baptist Cemetery is what we call the pioneer section of the Casey Cumberland Cemetery.
The oil business in our area started in about late 1850s, 60s. It didn't do very well because of the casing that holds the well. Didn't work real well, so the water got in, caused troubles. So in the 1900s, they developed a better technology. In the 1900s, they started drilling more, and they found oil in Clark County, just north of here in this Casey, Westfield area. We have some of the oldest wells in our oil field from this area, and we have one currently that we own is in 1907. It isn't currently in production, but it's still there. So it's kind of interesting that 110 years later, we're still producing oil from the same oil field. The area grew exponentially all of a sudden when the oil business was discovered. They came from all over the country. We needed help. All of a sudden there was people needing work. They came, and so the oil business went from a small industry to a very large industry, and actually overran the agriculture for a while. In the 1920s, they say there's about 3,000 wells were drilled in a short period of time from 1900 to 1920s in about a 6,000 acre area. So this whole area, it took off. The major problems we were having was when you bring that many people to the area was the infrastructure. So they had a railroad. Doty Railroad went through Westfield and came up through Casey, and they were trying to transport some of the oil that way. And then they had a deal where the Rockefellers got involved, and he just decided to get in the pipeline business. So that's when the pipeline started and developed, and at one point they said Mr. Rockefeller was in the area and wrote $1 million check. I don't know if it's ever been verified, but that's part of the legends. Those people that had acreage all of a sudden had money in their pockets. And so then they talked about Casey developed into a community of, we had saloons. They talked about there was 5 to 10 saloons popped up. When they talk about the roaring 20s in Casey, it was roaring. In the Westfield area alone, right at the little town of Oilfield, which is about 8 miles north of here, all of a sudden there was a school, there was a Westfield College was developed. There was people everywhere. They said they had so many wells. Some of these wells that were drilled were gas driven. So there's gas pockets below, and you'll still see a few flares burning, but in the 1920s, they were everywhere. And they used to say, for the people that I talked to that were a lot older, that they said you drive up 49 and all you saw was flares. You didn't even need headlights. It's like the street lights were on day and night. There were so many wells. In that small area of Westfield, Parker Township area, there were probably 1,200 to 2,000 wells. My father was a petroleum engineer. He was kind of the go-to guy of this area. We can drill wells. There was, in one particular acreage, 60 acres, there was 12 acres there in 1920. My father drilled 6 wells on that same location in 1980, still found oil. We've drilled 20 more in that same, and there's still oil. We're very blessed to be in a community that the oil is still important. It still has jobs. But in its heyday, yeah, it was a great business. So we've come a long way. If you drive up 49 from here, when you see it, you'll see the wells burning, or the flares burning at night. You'll see the pump jacks going up and down, the new technology. It's interesting because you'll see some sitting side beside each other. And if they're real close to each other, they're at different formations. So we have oil as shallow as 275 feet, and there's some oil as deep. The next zone is about 875 feet, and then the last zone that we're aware of is about 2,500 feet or less. So everybody's wondering is what's below that. So there may be something explored later, we don't know.
I think one of the best kept secrets in Casey, Illinois is the story of Hilda Dehl. She was a super smart little girl, and most of her education until she went to high school was at a country school, and she entered high school at age 11. She was so sharp. In 1920, a man by the name of Dr. T.C. Tade became a teacher at Casey Township High School. And he started the commercial department. Now today we would call it business. But he came in and he was one of the best in Illinois and just took his students, beyond what anyone would have dreamed. So when she came into high school at age 11 in about, I guess it would have been 1931, he'd been there a few years, and was already establishing what was happening, he announced when she was 15 that there was going to be this typing contest, and Underwood was sponsoring it. Now, I think other typewriter companies had sponsored contests, but this was the first one that Underwood, a very famous typewriting company, was going to produce. And if you won and got the privilege to go from the state of Illinois, you would get this all-expense paid trip to New York City. So she was so excited and went home and told her parents that she was going to go. And they said, well, you've got to win the state contest first, and she reportedly said, I will. In October of 1925, she won the state contest, and so she got to go, and she was only 15. She wasn't quite 16 yet until November of that year. Must have been amazing when she got to New York. She stayed in the Astoria, later became the Waldorf Astoria. It was very, very large. It had 4,000 rooms at the time when this little kid from Casey, Illinois showed up. And she went by herself. Got on a train and went to New York by herself. And when she got there, there were 31 other states represented. And of course, she was representing Illinois. And at that time, she had typed for 15 minutes, error-free, 64 words a minute. And she won the contest with 101 5-stroke words for 30 minutes they had to type. And that, was an amazing record for her. And so then the celebration, of course, began out there. They took her on more tours. They took her to Philadelphia, and they took her to Washington, D.C., and she saw all the federal and important buildings. And then as a highlight, they took her to the White House, and she met the President of the United States, Calvin Coolidge. When she got back home, of course, the town was, it was like, winning in nothing that we'd ever won before, even more so than a state championship in something. And the Hotel Delight, which was a very famous hotel for many, many years in Casey, had about the fanciest place in town to eat. And the owner there, who was Mabel Roberts, had a dinner for her, and the faculty and the city of Casey went together and bought her her own Underwood typewriter. And it was presented to her by old Dr. Johnson. All those years ago, a great stalwart of the city presented it to her. Well, in the 1990s, I had a conversation with Hilda myself. It was shortly before she died, actually, so it would have been late 1990s. She died in 2002 at the age of 93. And I asked her about the typewriter, and she said, "Oh, I still have the typewriter." And I said, "Oh my goodness, you do?" And she said, "Yes, and I still use it." Her picture and the trophy were hanging in the typing room up into, I don't know how long it was there. Now that old typing room, of course, is no longer at school. But I have told one of our business teachers at school that I'm going to frame a picture of Hilda Dehl and put it in the classroom. But I'll put a little history with it so that any unsuspecting kid like me who just thought it was a picture of someone at a typewriter can go up and read a little bit about Hilda Dehl. And again, I think she's one of Casey's best kept secrets, and I'm happy to share it.
The land for the park was purchased in the late 1880s by the Modern Woodman Lodge, a local civic organization. Over 500 trees were planted in perfect rows by 1895. The digging of the 2 ponds were completed in 1897. A playground, 2-story bandstand, a racetrack, horse stables, and a grandstand were finished by 1901. A 3-day festival was held to dedicate the park in the summer of 1902. One of the featured events were 2 matching white horses that jumped from an 80-foot ramp into the park pond. On the opening day of the celebration, over 13,000 paid to attend the event. A pool was built in 1934. The largest attendance at the pool was in 1947, when 763 people sought relief from the summer heat. The bathhouse and all equipment were destroyed in a fire in 1962. The pool was closed during 62 and 63 and reopened in 1964. A new pool was built in 1975. Due to declining attendance and needed costly repairs, it was decided to dismantle the pool in 2016. The 4 Ball Diamonds over the years have played host to many state champions in boys, girls, and men's baseball and softball events. 20 horseshoe courts regularly host the state horseshoe pitch tournament. The ASA State Softball Museum, located in the park, pays tribute to the rich softball history in Casey. The park also features a campground that during large events will host over 50 campers, tents, and RVs, showers, bathrooms, 4 open-air pavilions, a bandstand, basketball courts, Boy Scout house, tractor pull facility, attractive flower gardens, excellent fishing, and over 50 species of native and non-native Illinois trees that makes the park much used by locals and visitors. The park plays host to many events, a 4th of July celebration with fireworks, and for 31 years, the Labor Day weekend Casey Popcorn Festival.
Grandpa was named Walter Newland. Walter was born in Annapolis, Illinois, in a small farm town, in land that his grandparents had initially settled. Started in Casey, teaching agriculture in 1920. His first mission when he started teaching, the oil boom had already been over. The oil fields ran dry pretty much around 1919. And at that time, the oil people paid for most of the school, but yet the farmers were assessed equally, and the farmers were responsible for paying a lot of the rest of it. So at that time, the farmers hated the school system. The school board brought him in and said the first thing you have to do is get the farmers on your side. So not only did he teach the kids ag during the day, he also had the adults come in after school and in the evenings and taught them soil enhancements, planting sweet clover and trying to mend the soil. And most of the farmers were against it. They didn't want to hear any newfangled ideas from some university taught person. And they all said, well, you know, it's stupid. We're not going to put ground up rock on our dirt and make it, you know, mend the soil. It's just not going to work. So they went and they did test plots, and they showed the farmers that, you know, it did make a difference and made huge gains. Every test plot they did a side-by-side with the enhanced soil with lime, using sweet clover, tilling that in, and showed them side-by-side, this is with and this is without. And he was able to one by one prove to the farmers that, you know, it wasn't malarkey, it actually worked. They had what they called 100 bushel clubs, and farmers were able to finally hit 100 bushels per acre, as opposed to when he started the teaching, they were lucky to get 15 to 20 bushels per acre. In 1923, a large company in Rensselaer, Indiana, gave the school 450 tons of limestone. The lime was delivered by train cars, and then the boys had to unload it all by hand, and they loaded it into wagons to take it to the farms and the fields and the test plots. That was the first time lime was ever used in the area. Later, Grandpa had convinced the Rotary Club and several farmers to go together and start Casey Stone Company, which was the first limestone quarry in the area. The school at that time, they had a seed club, and farmers could bring in their crop, and they had a seed house at the school, and the kids would thrash your seed and separate it and bag it for you for half the seed. So the school actually made money for the ag program by the students working. The University of Illinois gave him the title of Father of Agriculture for the state of Illinois, and that was from just his teachings and him proving that soil enhancements did work. The school always gave a Walter A. Newland Award for the outstanding senior in agriculture, and they did that for years and years. I'm proud of Grandpa's accomplishments. He did a lot for the community. Even after he retired from school, he was considered Casey's weatherman and a soil chemist. He would come out and still analyze your soil and tell people, you know, what they needed to do, how much lime you needed to put on. Well, somebody had to teach him how to do that, and that's what I appreciate, you know, Grandpa doing, to help the community.
Yeah, those are some great stories. Yes.
We hope that you've enjoyed part one of This Is Our Casey, This Is Our Story, and we hope that you'll give us a call if you would like a copy of the program that you're watching right now.
So we just saw a portion of Casey, This Is Our Story right here. We're going to be with you for the next couple of hours, but the phone lines are open. The number is at the bottom of your screen, and this is how you get a copy of Casey, This Is Our Story just for you.
If you'd like one copy of it, it's $75. That's a gift to WEIU TV. If you would like two or more, they become $60 each. So maybe you want one for yourself, and for a friend, that would be $120 for two Casey, This Is Our Story. We really encourage you to, if you're enjoying this program, give back to the station that produced this program. This isn't something that any station would do. We are a partial PBS station, and we believe in community, and we believe in hometowns. So we've listened to Casey. We've heard a lot of people telling their stories, 24 exact. Ken, who are you talking to?
Well, I have Patty Richards here. Welcome, Patty. I'm glad you're at WEIU.
Thank you.
Patty was actually my drama teacher in high school, so I'm so glad you're here and we can do this together tonight. We have a first call coming in. Thank you so much. We had a story told by you about Hilda Dehl. So what an interesting story that was.
Very interesting. She's always been an interest to me once I heard that story for the first time. I just thought it was the coolest story.
It was,
So
and
that was the one I wanted to do.
And we've heard that from a lot of people tonight. I can't imagine being such a young girl from Casey and going to New York City all by yourself. What a neat story that was.
Yeah, well, thank you. I enjoyed it very much myself.
So you're an EIU alum as well, right?
I am. Go Panthers.
Yes.
Yes.
So what year did you graduate? Do you want to tell?
Oh my, 1971. And
All
then I
right.
stayed around for grad school on an assistantship, and I was a speech major. Both of my degrees are in speech.
All right. Well, we're glad to have you back on the campus of Eastern Illinois
Thank
University.
you very much.
Dana, who are you talking to across the set?
I've got the one and only Bernie Morgan. Bernie, we are so glad that you're a part of this program. And he was a storyteller for us, but he was a cheerleader for us. That was a huge deal for us because when we go to a community, we need that one person or a couple of people that say, go around and get other people to be storytellers. So that's what you did. And why did you want to get involved, Bernie?
Well, PBS television is my favorite channel. It's programming that you can't find anywhere else.
Thank you. Woo-hoo!
For television you won't see anywhere else, watch WEIU PBS.
Okay, we've partnered with you, and you know the experience. Tell us a little bit about the experience that you've had working with us on the Our Story program.
Well, first of all, the people, the storytellers, are the big story here. I mean, they put their heart and soul and their stories and their memories out there for all of us to share, and that for me was the greatest part.
Awesome. Thank you very much. I'm going to walk back over here now.
All right, so the phones are a little silent. We need to get them going. When you call, you give us energy. We love to know that
There's
you are
my call.
supporting WEIU and the storytellers from Casey this evening. So call the number at the bottom of your screen.
Usually when we get going, we say we'd like to have 10 calls, and we'd like to have every one of these phone operators that came out tonight to volunteer we want their phone stirring. So right now, we want you to do that. We had Shelley call. Shelley Simpson called a while ago, and she said, I can't get you on my TV. Well, we walked her through it. Somebody walked her through it, and now she's watching it online.
You can watch online at weiu.net, and if you're having a little bit of trouble and somebody can't get on, you need to make sure you have an Adobe Flash Player plug-in. And if you're watching on a mobile device, a Puffin browser will support Flash. So make sure that you get that information out there. It's on the WEIU Facebook page as well.
You know, right now we just like to get some more calls. When the phone rings, it gets us excited, and it makes us feel like, okay, we did something great for the Casey and the community that we serve as a PBS station.
So you can get a copy of the DVD tonight. Casey, this is our story for $75. If you get 2 or more, it is $60 each. And you are supporting the storytellers who volunteered for Casey. And a lot of these people are in the studio tonight. We have Jim Goebel across the set here, and he's sitting over there in the living room set. Wave, because you're going to be on TV there, Jim. He told the Illinois Father of Agriculture about his grandfather, and that was a really cool story that we learned.
Well, you know, when we ask people to be storytellers, it's a big deal. I mean, sometimes they come in and they're nervous, and we do our best to try to make them feel comfortable. So, and then when they see the finished product,
it's awesome.
It's awesome because they're like, wow, I didn't realize I could do that good of a job. So Jim did a great job.
Yes, he did. There's a lot of people that did a great job, just as Martha Reed back here. She started off the show for us this evening about Cumberland, the early settlement. That's one thing I did not know about Casey, is it actually started out as Cumberland.
And see, those are the kinds of things that most people would not know about Casey if this program wasn't created.
That's right. So you got to give us a call right now. Don't keep these operators standing by. You need to make sure that you call in. The number's at the bottom of your screen. You can go online as well if you want to, but you don't get the chance to talk to one of the storytellers and say, hey, you did a great job.
And what's really fun, like on a night like tonight, if you call and somebody answers the phone, but you want to talk to somebody else, we can do that. Just they'll hand the phone over or switch seats. That's what makes it fun. Right now, it's no fun right now. Because of why? Because the phones aren't ringing.
The phones are silent. They're waiting to take your call.
And we know that you are out there, you're watching and you're enjoying this program, and that's what we need you to do is call tonight. To put a program like this together takes about 4 months from start to finish. So I think the storytellers understand that because they were, they've been with us through this whole process. So this is a program that you're just not going to find anywhere else.
No. We've got some more stories coming up. If anybody knows Eleanor Markwell, she's going to be a storyteller. Lois Estelle Somerville is across the set as well, and she's telling a story. We've got something about the big things because Casey has lots of big things, right?
Yes, they do.
But it's big here tonight.
That's right. And then we have big hearts, and we know you have big hearts out there. Then you want to support this program. What's some more?
Wayne Davis talks about the horseshoe courts. He's across the set here, and Crystal is behind us, and she talks about Jana's mama.
Yeah, sweet Norma Jean. And, new businesses in Casey are very important. And we've got a little bit of the old and a little bit of the new, so it's a great program. All of it comes together. There's somebody that called.
Yes, thank you for supporting. Talking about the businesses in Casey, let's just give a shout out to our underwriters because we would not be able to put this program together and produce it without your help. We want to thank Casey State Bank, Richards Farm, Sarah Bush Lincoln, Bolin Enterprises, First Neighbor Bank, Casey Industries, the City of Casey, the Lions Club, and the Historical Society.
Thank you so much.
Good job for supporting Casey. This is our story.
And then we also want to give a shout out to our the food that we have tonight. We'd like to thank the Great House Pizza in Casey. We appreciate you doing that for us, and Sweet Norma Jean supplied the sweets.
Yes, we've got lots of good sweets over here across to keep us full and full of sugar tonight as well. So.
We need that sugar to keep us going.
We do, but we also need you to keep us calling. Keep calling and keep us going as well. We've got a couple of people on the phone, but we've got people switching around because someone wants to talk to Patty, I think.
That's what makes it fun here tonight is we are all about having a good time with the people of Casey. And if you know how much work these people went to be brave, to step up and do a story, it takes a lot of confidence and bravery to do such a thing.
It does, but it also takes some research, and you got to have some information. You have to provide the pictures and some of the video and different things like that. So lots of effort went in. We've got some more people that are going to be coming your way and probably switching around for the next set as well.
We'd like to give a shout out to Jay from Charleston. He called and said, you know what, I want to support this program. He loves that it's we're in Charleston and we're a PBS station, and he's like, I want you to continue to do programs like this on different communities. We can say that Casey was our 9th story program, and this is our story. We've been all over Central Illinois, and who knows where we're going next, but we've been to other towns, but tonight it's all about Casey.
It is all about Casey, and I'm so proud of it. It's my hometown. I was able to help decorate the set this evening with some of the things from high school. And
a little reminiscing.
Yes, it is. So I hope some of my classmates and some of the people that I know from Casey are tuning in tonight, and if you are, please let us know because I want to give you a shout out and say thanks for watching.
Speaking of DVDs, if you are watching and you'd like a copy of this program, it is $75 for one. The gift goes to WEIU TV, and if you would like 2 or more, there's $60 each, and all you have to do is let the phone operator know.
I want to also give a shout out to the First Neighbor Bank in Casey and Susan Sowers and Carol Jo Fritz as well, because all of these great canvas prints behind us were donated from them for us to use tonight. So thank you. If you want to see them, they're at Casey First Neighbor Bank.
And they're absolutely beautiful.
They are. They're awesome. So the phones are ringing. This is awesome. We've got, just two available. The number's at the bottom of your screen. We love it when there's a phone blitz.
Yeah, we call it a phone blitz. So right now, who's on, Marcy?
We need Marcy and we need Bernie on a phone.
Marcy and Bernie.
And Crystal
and
now.
Crystal. Okay, we're going to figure that out. So if you want to talk to Bernie or to Marcy or to Crystal, give us a call right now. The phone number is at the bottom of your screen.
So if you just tuned in, this is Casey. This is our story. We are over the air. We're on satellite. We're on cable. And we are streaming on WEIU.net tonight. Get on social media. Share this with your friends, with your neighbors, with your coworkers. But don't go anywhere because we're going back to the show right now.
Woo!